Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I've had a few people ask me why I put out my training programs for free that are out there, why I don't charge for it. I've had a few people say, hey, if you charge for programs, I would buy one. Why don't you do it? So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this, mainly because I don't believe in it. Yes, I know there are other YouTubers that do it. I've even considered it. I thought about it, but then I'm like, I make enough money off these programs. The amount of work that goes in the programs I've done, I make enough money off of it just by people watching the videos. I don't need to charge for them. The commercials and stuff, I actually make plenty of money off those programs. Honestly, I think I probably made as much as I think is fair for me to make off the programs I put out by the people who watch the videos. I think it's reasonable, the amount of effort I put into them versus the compensation. I'm totally fine with that. And I'm very pro-capitalist. I'm not against people selling a product or service for what it's worth, or people getting their fair money's worth. I just feel like I've already received fair compensation. Why do I need to charge further for something I've already honestly made the money I think it's worth off of? I'm not trying to be greedy about it here, guys. And that's the thing. The other thing to consider is that with any service out there, there's an ethical end of it, and there's the end of someone selling something for a fair price. When you look at the fact that programs that are free out there already by some of the best coaches in the world are free, you can get them. Bill Starr, Joe DeFranco, even Glenn Pendlay, a lot of these people, you look through stuff that's out there, John Bros. People have programs out there who are really good coaches, who have fantastic programs that are time proven over and over and over, that are effective, that you can find templates of for free. They're free. You don't have to buy them. So does anyone honestly think, I want people to step back and think about that. Does anyone really think anyone on YouTube who's writing programs is going to write better programs than these people? Do you really think that? I don't. I think most of the guys who are selling programs on YouTube are less qualified to write a program than any of these people. So technically, 90% of the programs out there being sold are worth less than the free programs that are out there. I don't know that I'd feel right about that. You know what? I think my programs are pretty good. A lot of people get great results on them. And I make money off the commercials already. I think that's enough. That's fine. And what I would rather do, rather than try to beat a lot of these coaches as far as templates go, cookie cutter programs, I put out a few that are alternatives to the free stuff that's already out there. That's all they are. They're alternatives. But when you think about it, do you guys really think my programs are better than those guys? No. You guys really think anyone on YouTube's got a program they're writing that's better than the stuff written by some of these top coaches? Of course they aren't. So the people who are charging for it, they're honestly kind of getting suckers. And it's that whole idea. People are like, well, if they're charging for it, it must be good. Well, not necessarily. And here's the thing. If it's a cookie cutter program, a template, why would you buy that? There's already good free ones out there. Don't waste your money. And I'm not talking about coaching services, and that's the difference. Everyone out there thinks that they're special and they need some really special program to gain muscle and strength. Well, you know what? Any program that puts strength on you at a good rate on all your barbell exercises is going to put muscle on you at close to a maximum rate also. All right? That's just the way it works. The two are interconnected on anyone who's not on drugs. And you know what? If you've got a muscle you feel is lagging a little bit, fine. Throw a couple extra exercises in for it. Do a little more metabolic fatigue. It'll come up. People overcomplicate this stuff. And the thing is, it's fine for people to hire a coach. But if someone is charging you for a program, they better be coaching you, because you should be paying for a coaching service, not for cookie cutter templates. If they've given 30 other people the same program as you, that's not coaching. That's just a cookie cutter program. They're free everywhere, written by great coaches. Way better than anyone probably on YouTube who's putting them out. So go use those free templates. It's just a template. It's not a customized program for you. If your coach is not getting your info from you every week, you aren't videoing some of your lifts for him to assess your bar speed, your bar path, your technique, how fatigued you're getting on the sets. If you're not videoing at least a couple of your sets of your exercises throughout the week somewhere to send to a coach, you're not giving him all your information on what you're lifting, and he's not changing what you do every week based upon what you send him, that's not coaching. All right, that's not coaching, and you shouldn't be paying for that. That's the thing. A coach is someone who customizes your training programming based on what you're doing week to week. And if they can't be there physically with you in the gym, they need to be seeing video footage, and they need to know all your numbers. If they're not getting that and adjusting your training based upon that, they're just giving you a cookie cutter template. And you know what? The coaches who are doing these templates, oh, well, I've got this periodization written out. Well, you can't just give them the template. You don't need to give them that week by week. Again, that's not coaching. That's just running a template. Just give that crap away for free or sell it for $5 one time. I don't know. But the point is, the people could just as easily go get a template from any of these other coaches for free. They don't need your services at that point. They don't need them. It's an actual waste of money. And it's different if the coach is actually updating them. And I don't have a problem with someone hiring a coach, but a lot of people need to step back and ask, do I really need a coach? Everyone thinks that they're this special, unique snowflake, and that they have some specific, unique distribution of muscle fibers in their body that is totally different from everyone else, and that they need a very special program specifically for their triceps. Or that, because their femurs might be a quarter of an inch shorter than most people their height, they must need a specialized program. Like, everyone thinks that they're so unique and special that they need a customized program. No, most of you don't, guys. The purpose of a customized program over a written template is to help people with specific strengths and weaknesses that are unique to you, who are trying to glean like a 1% edge. All right? That's what good coaching like that's going to do for you over running just a standard template. It's going to give you, maybe, if the coach knows what he's doing and he's accurately assessing everything you're doing, a 1 or 2% advantage over running a fixed template. Because it will address some of your weaknesses and strengths a little bit better. And that's okay, because if you want to pay for that and you need that for some competitive edge, I get that. Hiring a coach is worth it. I mean, a 1% difference definitely can make the difference between winning and losing in a competitive environment. But for the average person who's not competing in anything, you're not going to notice a difference in that. So again, you've got a question, do you actually need a coach? Is it worthwhile to you? And if you have a lot of money and you want that extra peace of mind for that 1% edge, and you have plenty of disposable income and it's not a big deal, then by all means do what you need to do what you want to do. But if it's something that you're actually having to weigh out the cost of, that cost actually means something to you, it's costing enough that it's going to significantly make you take away from something else in your life. Like, you're having to go, well, I really wanted to get this, but I've got to choose between hiring a coach versus doing this, and I don't compete in anything. Well, if you're on that type of budget to where it's not just disposable income you don't care about, maybe you don't need a coach, and maybe you don't need a customized template. And that's the difference. And I understand buying that customized template if you're trying to get a scholarship. You're in high school, you're trying to get that athletic scholarship. You compete in powerlifting, you compete in bikini. Okay, I get that. That's fine. Hiring a coach makes sense. For a lot of people, it really doesn't, other than just as a status symbol. And outside of that, you don't really need to be buying programs. There's no need for people to be selling cookie cutter programs. So for me, I put out free programs, but you know what else I do? I put out just as much information on different methods for people to structure their own programs. You know what? Because it's one thing to just give someone a free program. Okay, fine, they run that, but then they're like, well, what's next? Well, I was hoping by the time you're done with that program, you run my free program, by one of my novice ones for a year, then you go run an intermediate program for a year, that you're smart enough to figure out how to write your own by now. That if you're willing to invest 2 years of your life into running a structured program, or 2 different structured programs and following them perfectly, then you're also committed enough to training to go learn the basics of writing a program. I'm going to assume you've read some books by then on training programming, grabbed super training, you've grabbed practical programming. You listen to different things I've talked about on how to program different training methods. I've broken down old school training progressions. I've broken down methods for how to do accumulation style training, how to do different sort of some block periodization. I've done a lot of videos breaking down for people how to write their own programs. And I'm going to assume anyone who's been running any of my programs for longer than a year has probably watched some of those videos. And they probably have a pretty good idea now of how to write a program towards their goals. And that's a lot of what I like to do. I don't want to just give someone a fish. I want to teach a man to fish so that they can fish for themselves. And I mean, that's a lot of what I do here. I try to be a teacher. So I want people to learn. I don't want them to just listen purely to what I say and follow and not think for themselves. Break things down. Look at the different methods I present on how to structure your own program. Sure, run one of my programs for a year. One of my free ones. That's great. But while you're running it, listen to the other material and learn kind of how to structure programs for yourself based upon your own needs and goals. I put out a lot of material on that. And you know what? Listen to other people who do the same thing. And if a lot of what we both say makes sense, make it work together. You can incorporate what I'm saying with what other people are saying and find the best method for you personally. Learn how to do this. Learn how to write your own programs over time. And if not, and you get a few years in and I don't have any more free programs you want to run, there are plenty of coaches out there who have free programs you could run also. A lot of them out there that are very good templates. But the need to go buy programs? No. And the need for me to sell a program? Come on. There's plenty of people hustling people with that. I don't feel like I need to make more money with what I do off of this channel versus just providing my content and getting my views and all of that. That actually does pretty decent. And every one of those programs that I wrote, I feel like I've been more than fairly compensated for the effort I put into that already, just by the people watching it. I'm not trying to milk $10,000 or $20,000 off of writing a simple 6-month-long training template that I took 30 minutes to put together. Come on, guys. I don't need $20,000 for that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.